Hello, Joy Olson of Blockbuster Fundraising. Would you like to know the secret to upgrading your nonprofit donors? Guess what? It's personal, not personalized. So says Claire Axelrad, and she knows what she's talking about, I'll tell you. When the concept of personalization first came into vogue, it was due to a reason. People were tired of being treated all the same. Personalization is related to specialization. People tired of sameness so long ago. In fact, in 1962, Malvina Richards wrote a song called Little Boxes. It was about social conformity and the undifferentiating experience of suburbia, and it's been covered many times since. And it was even used as a theme song for the television series Weeds. Today, we're seeing a flight back to the cities with all the differentiation and choices they offer. Also, department stores selling everything, specializing in nothing, morphed into Chairs R Us, Toys R Us, Office Depot, Victoria's Secret, Just Desserts, and Personal Shoppers. People today crave specialization, choices. Of course, big box stores exist too, but the experience is not the same. Nobody knows your name, customer service is generally poor, and people generally spend less there. Well, what do you want your donors to experience? Chances are you want your donors to feel really good about donating to you, because then they'll be even more likely to give again. Chances are you want them to know that you know them and care about them for more than just their wallet, because then they'll be more likely to give again and even give more over time. Chances are you want them to trust you and value you enough that they're willing to make a passionate, not just a token investment or gift, because then they'll consider you when it comes time to make a major or legacy gift. If this is what you want for your donor experience, you only have to remember these two words: special and personal. If you take these two words to heart, you'll be leaps and bounds ahead of your nonprofit competition. These words should become your mantra and should underscore everything you do: your annual appeal writing, your donor acknowledgments, your special events, your newsletters, your blog posts, your proposals, your reports, and your social media. Well, what's not special? Special is not automated. Special requires thoughtful customization. Sometimes you can automate by segmenting after you've thought through the customization, not before. For example, if you automatically send all of your first-time donors the exact same welcome message, that's not personal. First, you must assess what makes one new donor different from another. It may be the amount of money they give, or the campaign to which they respond, or the purpose for which they earmark their gift, or the fact that they're already a current volunteer or client. Hey, special is not cut and paste. Special requires some knowledge of your audience so you can craft a meaningful message that will be relevant to them. For example, if you cut and paste simply to reflect the fact that your donor gave under $100 versus over $100, you may miss out on other differentiators that are much more meaningful to your donor. It could be the fact that this is a big upgrade from their previous gift, or that it's their 10th year of consecutive giving, or that they made the gift in memory of someone. Special is not sending everyone the same message. Special requires some understanding of the human being you're addressing. In all your donor communications, especially with donors who give more than your average level gift, you should strive to create an emotional bond. If you know your donor loves inspirational quotes, why not slip one in? And if you know their family just celebrated a life cycle event, hey, why not include congratulations? And if you know they just returned from a trip, why not welcome them back and ask if you can set up a date to hear all about their travels. Who wouldn't love that? Many nonprofits claim that they get personal with their donors, but what they actually mean is their communications are personalized. For example, they use their would-be donor's name at the top of the email or their mailed appeal salutation. Claire says, no, no, and no. Let's face it, the ability to personalize today is so prevalent as to have become quintessentially impersonal. Not special at all? Let's get personal. When you get authentically personal in our digital age, it's truly perceived as special. You'll know you're getting genuinely personal if you can imagine the person on the receiving end of your message getting emotional about what they receive. Good marketing and good fundraising is about helping your donor connect some positive emotion to what you're selling. Emotional connection is what causes your donors to give more and more. When we feel emotion, it's special because we don't feel it all the time. This feeling is an antidote to sameness, monotony, apathy, and all the negative, dulling things that Malvina Reynolds wrote about in her famous Little Boxes song. So you don't want your nonprofit to seem like just one more anonymous little box where they all look just the same. Don't do that. And it's easy to fall into the undifferentiated nonprofit trap when you're using language like making a difference, creating change, saving lives, and when you begin messages with dear joy and thanks to you, Claire, and similar stand-ins for a personal touch. They're wonderful, but they're not authentic. They don't connect. Getting personal can't be 100% automated. Got that? At the least, you have to give your marketing automation a hug. In other words, number one, care deeply about your donors. Always include donors in your mission. They need you as much as you need them. And you can play a meaningful role in bringing them purpose and joy. Number two, listen and ask open-minded questions of your donors that show that you care and help you learn more about them as human beings whose values align with yours. Why did you first get involved here? What legacy would you like to leave? Number three, strive to understand how your brand, your vision, your mission, your values play a role in the real lives of your donors. So would you like now to look at some specific examples of ways to personalize your donor interactions to make your donors feel special? Because the more special you're going to make your donors feel, the more likely that they are to continue giving to you. Because who wants to ever stop feeling special? Well, consider this question. What would it be like if you knew all your supporters and they knew you? Well, Claire says it would be fan-freaking-tastic. Gosh darn it. Don't you get tired of being one of the anonymous masses? Your donors feel that way too. And don't you just love it when you feel personally welcomed, when someone listens to you and you can tell that they really heard you, when someone cares about you and asks how you're doing, when someone remembers your name, what you do, and what you told them last time you connected. Wow, is that fantastic? Okay, So here are some differences between personal and personalization. Embrace personalization, caring and creating emotional connections, and you're gonna stand out in the nonprofit world. Seriously, your donors won't know what hit them in a good way. Okay, so now let's look at ways you can personalize your donor's experience so they feel an emotional connection to you. Are you ready? These are good. We thank Claire. This is wonderful, wonderful tips. Donor thank yous. Put yourself in your donor's shoes and consider what they want and need to hear after they've made a gift. She says, I recently received 2 donors' acknowledgments. One was akin to a receipt. It thanked me for my gift of X dollars made on such and such a date. I filed it. The other thank you simply glowed. It told me I was awesome, gave me the director's contact information, and invited me to reach out if I ever wanted to have coffee. I left it sitting on the kitchen counter, she says, to show my spouse and to think about whether I wanted to take her up on the offer. Get the idea? So here are some strategies for making your donor acknowledgement an emotional connecting experience for your donor. Are you ready? What if your thank you letter has a handwritten note from the executive director or a board member or even a staff member? Not just a slick, generic, thanks so much for making a difference, but something at least as personal as, so glad you can come to the event this year. I will look for you there. Even better would be to add something remembered from your last encounter. Something like, can't wait to see what dress you'll be wearing this year. And then, what if the note writer actually makes a point of looking for you at the event? Pretty nifty. Well, what if the same volunteer who called to thank you for your gift last year is the one who calls you this year? And what if they remember something from your call last year? Because they've taken notes, they make the connection and ask you about it. Or if they simply look at the program for which you earmarked your last gift, reference it, and tell you, how's it going? This is how it's going, thanks to your help. Well, what if the thank you letter includes a testimonial from someone helped by the donor's gift? Not just a dry recitation of facts, but a warm, personally, emotionally connecting story that ends with, I don't know how I'd have survived without your help. Potent, emotional connection. Well, what if you're writing about a special event? Put yourself in your donor's shoes and consider how you can make this event special for them. Claire says, I recently attended 2 events. At one, I felt like one of the unwashed masses. The check-in line took forever. And when I finally got to the reservation table, I had to pick up my own name card because the staff was so overloaded. And at the next event, I was warmly greeted by name. Another staffer was apparently alerted I had arrived, and they came over to greet me personally. Get the idea? Here are then some strategies for making your special event an emotional connecting experience for your donor. What if the person who takes the event reservations is the same person who sits at the check-in table? And what if they greet each guest by name and then add a personal recollection like, oh, hello, Joy. So nice to meet you in person. I was the one who took your reservation. Is your puppy feeling better? Well, what if you're greeted at the door by a member of the board? And what if they thank you warmly for your support, tell you how much they care about getting to know you better, and hand you their business card so that you can reach out to them personally after the event with any feedback and questions? Wow, is that good or what? And what if extra special care is taken with the seating chart? You end up seated next to someone with whom you connect emotionally, and you feel a sense of warmth and community being with people who share your values. And what if the program portion of the event is all about vision, mission, and values, rather than simply walking away with an auction item or having listened to some boring speeches? You leave with a lump in your throat, a tear in your eye, and a feeling of emotional inspiration. Now let's look at donor communications. Put yourself in your donor's shoes and consider how you can make your messaging emotionally connecting and personally relevant. Claire said that she recently received e-newsletters from 2 different organizations. One was filled with announcements, including the fact that they'd recently rebranded, had hired a new program director, and had been given some sort of award. They were rightfully proud of these accomplishments. Nonetheless, they didn't mean much to me. The other organization sent an e-newsletter that led with an emotional video story about someone who'd helped. There was also an invitation to a free event where I could connect with other like-minded supporters. And there was a How to Keep Your Parents Safe article that made me feel cared for, even though I wasn't a direct client. Get the idea? So here are some strategies for making your donor communications an emotionally connecting experience for your donor. What if your newsletter receives leads with hand-selected articles about the program for which you earmarked your donation? What if everything you receive is personally tailored through list segmentation so that nothing seems generic? Expert tip, Claire says, look for people who regularly visit specific project pages. These people may not want to make a general donation, but may be interested in channeling their contributions to a specific area where they feel an emotional connection. Reach out to see if they're willing to help fund that specific initiative. Tailoring your outreach with a personalized approach will go such a long way towards securing a partner and a contributor who is willing to upgrade their gift. Now, how about this? What if you receive a card on your birthday? And not just a plain card with a computer-generated signature, but one with a personal note from someone you know. Or one with a special gift for something you'd liked. They noticed you always buy ice cream at their cafe, or attend the jazz series, or give to the Save Endangered Tigers. And then they enclose this coupon or sticker related to your area of interest. What a nice birthday personalized note. What if someone noticed you weren't feeling well one day, then called a day or two later to check in on you? What if they asked if there was anything they could do to help? What if they went that extra mile to make an emotional connection to you? So, now that you have a handle on this idea, Claire says that she's sure that you can think of many similar strategies to make your donor feel so special. Just remember these words: personal, caring, emotional, connecting. The chances are good that any of the personal, caring, emotionally connecting strategies described above are going to make you feel welcomed, cared for, favorably impressed, and inclined to make a larger gift next time you're asked. Remember, Claire says, people are all people. And this is a piece of fundraising advice that she received early in her career that has stuck with her to this day. Even businesses and foundations are people. Wealthy, poor, old, young, everyone seeks emotional connection. Treat everyone like people. Don't put them at arm's length because they may be different from you. Don't be afraid of their status or size. Find a way to connect. And don't forget, they aren't stereotypes. No one is the same. That's the beauty of being human. Just be human. And you know, that's what philanthropy means. Love of humankind. So, our digital revolution, there's certainly been a tendency to become more robotic. Don't let tools overshadow people. Much has changed, but people are still people. And people need people. People crave relationships. People are driven to connect and form communities. So when we all moan about the digital world, don't despair it. It doesn't mean you can no longer connect with people emotionally and in real time. In fact, it means you can connect with people 24/7. Just do it with your distinct, caring, and special personal touch. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but if you want to turn your donors into repeat and larger donors, it's certainly worth the effort. So find that way to get up close and personal with at least one donor, one major donor this week. I'd say find a way each day. Hey, this is Joy Olson at Blockbuster Fundraising saying, I hope you got some great tips. We thank Claire Axelrad. You should really sign up for her blog. It's wonderful. JoyOlsonGroup.com, BlockbusterFundraising.com, 2 places you can go for information. We try to bring you all the very best tips from all the best fundraisers, all the gurus in the biz, just for your inspiration and fundraising success. Check out our Blockbuster Fundraising YouTube channel. Got more than 300 free fundraising tip videos there. We love our Instagram IGTV channel. We love it all. We're here every week, live on Facebook, 1 p.m. Have a great September, and remember, use it as a setup month for your hugely successful year-end fundraising. Bye-bye. Thanks.